Welcome to probably one of my last from this generation of products, Ultrabook unboxing. This is for Acer's Aspire S3, so you can see the exact part number we're looking at here. We've also got the specs here, so it comes with Windows 7 Home Premium. This guy's got a Core i5 2467M 13.3-inch screen with LED backlight, HD graphics, 4 gigs of memory, 320 gig hard drive, card reader, HD webcam, 3-cell lithium-ion battery, and Microsoft Office 2010 preloaded. So, pretty much what you'd expect, although I am really looking forward to having a closer experience with this particular Ultrabook than the pictures that I have seen before. Now, the ones that I've already looked at are the ASUS ZenBook and the Apple MacBook Air. The key differences between those two are obviously the operating system. Whereas with the Aspire S3, it has a distinct similarity with the ASUS unit because it is also a Windows-based Ultrabook. Now this one came from Acer. This is a demo eval unit, so you can see that the seal was already broken on it, but let's see if we can still have a fairly authentic unboxing experience, and it looks like we probably will. Okay, so here we will find the power adapter, which is pretty much what you've come to expect. Fairly large size power plug compared to the ZenBook from ASUS. Very reasonable sized actual brick. Alright, in there we find not a whole lot else. Let's take out the notebook. I think they're still called notebooks, yeah. And then we've got some documentation as well as your international traveler's warranty. Very, very good to have. And I think that pretty much does it for accessories. So it doesn't include quite the same bells and whistles like the carrying case that comes with the ZenBook, but it's also, I don't think, quite as bare bones as the Apple one because it at least comes with the international warranty. Alright, comes in a nice little protective sleeve here, and there we are. So the form factor is, as you can clearly see, fairly similar to the other two units, but my feeling on this one is that it feels a little bit thicker, but not actually any heavier. It's still a very comfortable sort of design. So here, let's have a look at the back. So here we've got our rubber feet. Plenty of attention to detail on the bottom of the unit, so nice finish, which is something that Apple kind of started with their MacBooks, in paying attention to the bottom and not just putting plastic all over it. So Acer has definitely gone with that for their S3 unit. We can also see it's got a nice brushed finish on the top. That looks really good. There's a couple fingerprints on it from whoever was using it before, but what I'll do is before I do my full video on my NCIX channels, I'll see if I can get them off, and that way I will know already, before I talk to you guys about it sort of more formally, how easy it is to remove fingerprints from it, because one of my gripes about brushed metal finishes is that they can be a bit of a bear to remove fingerprints from. In terms of the overall keyboard layout, we can see that it's fairly standard. We do have a full-size shift, plenty full-size backspace, and we've got a bit of a smallenized, okay, slicks hiding from the reflective screen, so I'm just going to go like that so that he doesn't have to do that. Okay, and then we've got an enter where we've put our backslash above it. I don't mind this design because I very rarely hit this part of the enter key. In fact, I'd say never, and this is the part that I usually go for. We've got our arrow keys in their proper formation, although they're quite small, but you shouldn't use them too much. And I love seeing dedicated page up and page down keys in a convenient location because think about it, actually, look at how wide this one opens. Check that out. Check out that hinge. So that's the maximum opening. So this could be very easily used for reading, you know, page up, page down. You've got your buttons right here, right? And then you've got it open pretty much like a newspaper or like a magazine. And yeah, that's actually outstanding. Now, I'm not going to be able to compare this to the other two units very easily in terms of performance because this is a hard drive based model, so it's a lower priced model. But I just wanted to look at it in terms of the form factor. So why don't I just grab the MacBook Air really quick here. And I'll be back in a sec. Hold on. Sorry, guys. And let's just compare them really quick because they do have the same size screen. Similar sort of battery specifications, similar CPU specs. So there we have it. So the first thing, there we are. let's have a look at the overall thickness here. Because it seems to me, yes, okay, the S3 is a little bit thicker. So there, yeah, my gut feeling on that one was not incorrect. However, what you guys will probably notice is that at its thickest point, the MacBook Air is pretty much the same. And then once it tapers down, that's where the difference really comes in. So the Acer unit is more of a consistent thickness throughout rather than being really, really thin at one end and not that thin at the other. So let's see what that translates to in terms of I/O. So we've got our headphone port here. We've got, that looks like for a carrying strap, although I really can't imagine carrying around a laptop on a wrist strap like that, but is that not what that looks like to you guys? Okay, so yeah, I'll have to see if Acer has any comments on that. Not much on the front, as we'd pretty much expect. And then on the other side, we've got our SD card reader, and then on the back is where we're going to find the majority of the I/O. So we have our power input, our HDMI, as well as our USB 2 ports, and finally our exhaust for the internal fan. So that's where Acer has really differed from what their competitors are doing, in that they've, instead of going with a Hinge design like this, where the entire back of the notebook is taken up by the hinge, they've gone with a Hinge design that feels very robust, but still allows all of these I/O options to be built into the back. Let me have a look here at what else there is to say. You know what? Let's compare them in terms of the size here. So yes, they're both 13.3-inch notebooks, but the Acer, oh, check this out. The Acer, probably due to that Hinge design, is actually a little bit, what would you call that? Not wider, a bit shorter? Narrower? Sure, let's call it narrower. So it's not quite as large as the MacBook Air this way, even though it is a bit thicker. So that's probably why they weigh very similar, even though the MacBook Air is significantly thinner. Let me see. So the touchpad is smaller, but I do see one major advantage on the touchpad versus the ASUS unit, and that is that it can be used at the very bottom on the clicky spaces, so you can, pull it forward a bit, push it down a bit. Okay. Oh, that one too. Okay, here we go. So you can use the bottom part of the touchpad in order to navigate, and then you can also click on it. The ASUS unit actually cuts off about here and is not sensitive on the parts that are clickable. So I would definitely give Acer a big thumbs up for that particular design choice. Other than that, I don't see too much here to mention. So yeah, I'll wait till I do my NCIX video about it, but yeah, thanks for checking out my unboxing of the Acer S3 Ultrabook. So far, this one's actually looking really, really sharp. The keyboard feels good. Form factor feels good. The weight feels good. Build quality feels very good. This is a metal top, so that's not like a brushed plastic or anything like that. Don't forget to subscribe to Linus Tech Tips for more unboxings, reviews, and other computer videos. Okay, Slick told me what he wanted me to do when he was sort of gesturing at me, and he wanted me to show the Hinge comparison between the MacBook Air, which goes to here, and the S3, which goes to here. That seems totally insignificant at first, but it comes down to how you're going to use it. These things are so light that you can carry them around with one hand, and like I was sort of saying before, like you can actually operate the computer semi-comfortably like this. So you grab it like this, you go, okay, yeah, page down, I'm reading. Oh, I'm going to fold it up, I'm going to carry it around, I'm going to throw it, down the sleeve of my backpack or whatever the case may be. And hey, check this out, resume times. Even though it's using a hard drive, ka-chow, already open. Can you tell I watched Cars 2 last night? Okay, I'm done, actually.